I've wanted to work with horses ever since I can remember. When I was a little girl, my dad would go to a coffee plantation and play cricket on the weekends. And I would go with him and sneak off to the barn and brush horses. And the owner of the farm eventually gave me a pony. I was 9 years old. And that just started me wanting to do more.
Lizzy Meyer, and this is my first clinic with Peggy, and I basically have had a major revelation about working with horses in a positive way and realized that there is something better and there's something more to be done that is it makes sense in my body. And it's something that I can go back to and I can see with the horse and feel from the horse if I'm on the right track or not. So it feels like this is the way I'd like to keep going and continue to help horses but advance my own work with them. And this is pretty significant because I've given up riding before and I've basically stopped, all kinds of groundwork. I couldn't even lead a horse. So this feels really good and I really want to share this with other people.
I am so grateful for everything that I have learned from Peggy and connected riding. And I could write an essay on all the skills and tools and philosophies that I've learned. But I think for me, the most important and the ones that I use on a daily, hourly, minute by minute basis are the skills of training my eye and my feel to understanding what's going on for horses and for humans. Since working with connected riding, it certainly changed my own awareness of my own riding and postural habits and my own horses. But as an instructor and a teacher, it's made such a difference being able to look at a rider, look at a horse, and then put my hands on them and feel just from in a moment where it is that the biggest bracing pattern or tension pattern is, and be able to give them a simple fix to change it and feel the freedom of movement just by letting go somewhere. And it's amazing. It doesn't matter if it's a horse or a rider on the ground or in the saddle. Peggy has given us such amazing tools to let people feel what it feels like to move with less tension, with more ease, and more freedom. And that is a huge gift.
My name is Kate Bremmer, and I discovered connected riding, and it allowed me to help my horse and myself, who I was having some trouble with, and I learned how to help him release some bracing patterns from past training, etc. And more importantly, I learned to release my own bracing patterns so that we could connect. The beauty of the work, which I was just reminded of, is that I can show somebody a pretty simple thing that they can use to make a difference to their horse. And it's very empowering work because we can show another person a caterpillar, a shoulder delineation, how how to comb the reins, something that is going to make a huge difference to the horse and that person can do no matter what their level of experience is.
Hi there, this is Nicole from Calgary. Connected riding has allowed me to reach a new level of partnership with my horses, both on the ground and on the saddle. The tools and exercises of connected riding help me to transition the good connection I have with my horses on the ground and their saddle. Peggy has opened my eyes for how effortless and light riding can be if you're in sync with your horse and in harmony with your horse. So if I get it right, Peggy would tell me that my horses look happy. And that to me is what it's all about. Cheers!
In a word, connected riding is revolutionary. For years I've tried to work and work and work to be a better rider and understand feel. Everybody talks about it, everybody wants it, lots of people claim to teach it, but until I met connected riding it just wasn't getting through to me. But with the tools connected riding has given me, I'm now able to understand and feel an independent seat, a balanced seat, and independent aids. And with this comes the ability to start to influence my horse positively and affect change. So I am thrilled. Thank you, Connected Riding. You have rocked my world and revolutionized my riding.
So I was looking for methodology or philosophy of riding that would match a lot of what I do with my confidence coaching, which is without force, without tension, without brace, and eliminating all of those things. And so when I discovered connected riding through some friends, I really loved the philosophy and what it really meant to both horse and rider. And honestly, with all of the different riding that I have done, I'm thrilled with what connected riding will do and how it will help the horse to create that weight-bearing posture and for us to be able to carry our own live weight with an independent seat.
In the early 80s, I met Sally Swift, and I heard her talk, and what I noticed is that when the clinicians came to me, they'd tell me what to do with the horse, but never were telling me what to do with my body, and she was the first person that ever addressed it. And that made total sense to me because that's where I already was going. A few years later, I met Linda Tellington-Jones, and from her, I started learning different things to look for on the ground with horses. So when connected riding started really being called connected riding, I was already dedicated to the fact that all teaching had to be in 3 phases. Number 1 was the awareness of that rider's body, of where she or he were in space, on the ground, touching an animal, walking beside an animal, leading an animal. How was the horse functioning? Was he ready to work? Was he ready to do a transition? Did he have an even way of going? What were the issues, we call them issues, that present themselves? And then how that rider used their body in the saddle. Starting a horse under saddle is not just to tame them or to get them to put up with you climbing on top of them. It's to teach them how to move freely and how to maintain their own weight shifting ability while carrying a rider.
I am now a natural horse trimmer, and when I first I pretty much started that about 10 years ago, and I decided to get some more information about correct movement of horses. So I went to one of Peggy's clinics, and I just was blown away by seeing her make a slight change in a rider or just someone leading the horse, and the horse completely moved differently. And I started to learn what correct movement was, because everywhere you look you don't see it, and this was a great place to learn it. And so now I'm thinking I'm learning these little things, very small things that can be done, and it helps me in my work to just balance a horse to be trimmed, and I can just show them just a slight thing, and it's not a big, do all this crazy stuff. Just do one small little thing to help the horse release his head or neck or something, and that is a big help to everybody that I work with.
What I believe is that not only do I empower the rider, but I empower the horse. And the rider learns to be responsible for their body and understand why that horse does what he does. And to look at the behavior of the animal as either an imbalance or a balanced movement. If that horse is in balance, his mind, body, and spirit are in cooperation with the human. And that riders should really be able to self-reference. That to me is just critical. I would love to help more instructors learn how to release tension in the horses' bodies and their riders' bodies, so that they could also enjoy the benefits of connection. So what is connection? It's that syncing up of two bodies in motion, which is one of the most exhilarating things that you can do. So why wouldn't I want to do this forever and share it with the world?
Takes a wise man to understand